Guten Morgen! Guten Morgen! Lads, boys, lads, what is up? How's everyone doing today? Let's get a nice crisp crack going here. Shee! All right. Okay. How's everyone doing today, boys? How's everyone doing? How is everyone doing today, boys? How is everyone doing today? We're gonna be, yeah, you guys voted on it here. Actually, let me pull up the poll really quick. So I got it up. You guys voted for 1990 classic albums here. All right, yeah, so you guys voted for it. So we will be doing Rust in Peace here today, boys. I think we'll start. There we go, perfect. Yo,
I'm gonna get off by
hey,
cranking your knob just a little beyond the breaking point.
Hello.
At WaveGod 5797 became a member
Aniara,
of the
Aniara, what's up? What's up? Yo. And Stone, what's up, my boys? What's up? All right, so you all voted for it. I'm gonna be doing classic album reaction streams. We did one for Slaughter to the Soul last week, and you guys voted for it. I was doing 1990 albums, so we had Painkiller, Rust in Peace, Left Hand Path, and then, of course, Blind Guardian's Tales from the Twilight World. That is the 4 albums you have to choose from, and you guys voted for Rust in Peace. So we'll be doing Rust in Peace here, and this will become a thing we're going to be doing more often. Classic album streams. I think it's cool to listen to, you know, albums that everyone loves, but listen to it live and sort of talk about it while we're listening to it, right? Because everyone could sit on YouTube comments and talk about, ooh, I love the part where Dave talks about the aliens. Ooh, I love the part where, everyone could say that, but there's something to be talking and listening to an album sort of live with a whole bunch of people. That's very, very cool. The stream notification reminded me, lol, what's up, everybody in the house today? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? I voted for Painkiller. Well, we'll certainly do Painkiller another time. Maybe we'll have like a Judas Priest classic album poll. Maybe we'll see if we'll choose Judas Priest then. But, I figured the first couple, reaction streams, we'll get through all the big giants, Rust in Peace, Master of Puppets. Maybe we'll do the original Black Sabbath albums too, maybe something like that. We can go through all these and, we try to do these on Mondays, maybe eat later on in the evening, something like that. But, yeah, we're going to try it out here now. So, yeah, we'll be starting here right away, boys, maybe in like 10 minutes or so. And if you do notice, this will be the only time I give any sort of DSP tier begment. I started a goal. If we get 10 yellow or higher super chats, the next one we will do will be Saint Anger. And we can listen to all glorious, what is it, hour and 20 minutes of Saint Anger or something like that. I would have voted for Painkiller. Rust in Peace is too many bangers. I did it for 5 magics. Based. Yeah, based. Jose, good afternoon, my good sir. Good afternoon, my good sir. Gentlemen, ladies, gentlemen, how's everyone doing today? Yeah, so, what other years should we do next? I was thinking maybe we could do like 1987, maybe 86. 86 is just packed with so many good releases, and I wish I had more than 4 options for you guys to choose from, but we got to just go through 4. So we'll be starting here right away. But yeah, what album do you guys think we should do next? Obviously, of course we could do Death, but I feel like that's almost cheating on this channel here. I don't know, maybe we'll do Symbolic. Maybe Symbolic next week or something like that. It might be cool. It's all good. I'll be at one of those sneak attacks behind the lines. Sneak attacks, rip out on the lines, beyond the lines. All right, okay. What time is it now? So 12:39. We'll start in 5 minutes. So at 12:45 Mountain Time, and whatever time you guys are at. Close to a world below. Close to a world below by who? Don't worry, and don't worry for all my Blind Guardian fans. All 5% of you who voted for it. We'll definitely be doing Power Metal one as well soon. It was funny. I was listening to Rust in Peace, not this last weekend, but just, you know, lying in bed listening to Rust in Peace, even before I sort of planned to do the album classic reaction stream here. But dude, every time I listen to this album, I'm almost convinced it's actually the greatest metal album of all time. You know, never mind thrash metal, never mind technical thrash, whatever you want to call it. I actually think it might be the greatest metal album ever made. The intersection of like riffs and solos and cool technical drumming that still grooves and cool bass lines with pacing, the production, and then even like Dave's vocals, right? Everyone kind of poops on Dave's vocals, but for some reason here, they just work so well because it's just so sort of unique and weird, yet still very aggressive in this era too. Yeah, I don't know. What are you guys thinking? Meshuggah, Immolation, those could all be good. Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm definitely down to do more like, you know, extreme death metal styles. Need a prog metal reaction. Which prog metal album would you like me to see? I got a couple favorites. Maybe I could do Operation Mindcrime. That'd be a good one. I haven't not listened to Operation Mindcrime, bro. Probably like 15 years, maybe even longer. Yeah, Opeth would definitely be another one we would do for sure. His vocals always bother me, but maybe they'll finally click today. Which version were you listening to, Andrew? Because the vocals change kind of drastically depending on the version you're listening to. Which, by the way, we're going to be listening to the original, not 2004 remix remastered version, of course. I agreed. Rest in Peace and Human are top 2 metal albums. Rest in Peace breaks down the riff solo dichotomy in a very cool way. Absolutely. Totally agree. The riffs to solo ratio in Rest in Peace is higher than almost any other album that's not like pure prog wankery. You know what I mean? There're just so many cool, like little mini solos in Rust in Peace, like all over the place. It's just so unique. And actually, Human, I guess, is kind of like that too, especially on like Lack of Comprehension, right? A lot of little mini solos in that one too. I also think underrated is the drumming on Rust in Peace. Like everybody knows Nick Menza is a great drummer, but you know, you kind of think of the drumming that was going on at the end of the 80s, 1990 here, and this was pretty tense, pretty technical, and not only that, but like the production on the drums. But we'll talk about that a little bit more. Time 2. I would love to do Time 2. I listened to that when it came out. Oh man, Time 1 and 2, honestly, like 2 of my favorite albums of all time. Honestly, I'm not sure. Maybe I'm listening to the wrong master. Probably. Not as popular, but you might want to do the first Misery Signals album. Oh yeah, buddy, we're going to be doing a lot of metalcore here as well, for sure. Classic Dream Theater. Nope, no Dream Theater. Fuck that. Fuck Dream Theater. Symphony X. Yeah, now we're talking, buddy. Now we're talking. Maybe some Seventh Wonder. Yo, Vito. Yo, what's up, Vito? What's up? Okay, we're going to be starting in 2 minutes here, boys. 2 minutes. Everyone, go grab a drink. Go grab a beverage. Go grab a snack. You know, set your auto clicker on if you're working from home. What do I got drinking today? I got a nice Rainbow Sherbet Rain Energy. I've been converted off the monsters. I also got a Crush Orange Zero I'm going to be enjoying as well. And of course, the vitamin DC. Can't forget the vitamin DC. My aspartame levels are falling. I need to up those back up. Heartwork? Oh yeah, Heartwork could be a great one too. Honestly, we could probably even do like Tomb of the Mutilated. Cannibal Corpse. Been a really long time since I've heard that one. Rain and Blood, of course. Maybe we could even do Darkness Descends. You know, you could do a lot of, you know, basically any album. You know what I mean? I got to go to work, but I wanted to say hi. Oh, Vito, I really appreciate you stopping by, my good sir. Okay, boys. Well, let's get her going here, boys. Let's get her going. Okay, we're gonna start off. Everybody knows Holy Wars, The Punishment Due. You know, a song that continues to remain very, very relevant to this day. All right, boys, let's go. One of the best opening, I don't know, 20 seconds in metal. So sick. Let's go, boys. Okay, I know I can't. If anybody who's new here, I gotta pause it every so often to talk. Otherwise, YouTube gets pissed because it's not a reaction. Okay. First 25 seconds or so of the song, so sick. You got unbelievably sick riffs and really, really cool drum fills. I want you guys to really, really pay attention to Nick Menz's drumming on this album. It's so... I don't want to say it's loose, but it's very fluid and it's very groovy and technical at the same time. It's sort of like, you know, metal drumming at the end of the 80s into the 90s was approaching this, where everyone was getting really, really technical with their drumming, especially like double bass playing and stuff like that. And here, Nick Menza is sort of riding that really nice, you know, 80s groove with the 90s technicality. Just so nice. Also, guitar tone, very, very weird, but it works here. Rest in peace, Nick Menza. There's so much bass in the sound of the guitars here, too. Yo, what's up, Phil? Pretty cool little spoiler. They literally play this exact section with that little lead over top at the end of the song in a sort of nice, like, continuity way. Really, really cool and interesting songwriting this song, too. The song almost feels like it has no structure, but it does on further inspection. Really, really cool. Riff, man. Unbelievable. I really like, again, you know, as the vocals start, they change up the main riff, right? The first, basically, 2 minutes or 2 minutes and 2.5 minutes of the song, it's like one riff. You know, that they sort of just change and permutate, and the drums go halftime. So cool that one riff essentially keeps your attention for like 2.5 minutes. You know what I mean? This is one of those albums that has no downside or skippable songs, in my opinion. Honestly, yeah, I totally agree though. Those lyrics. Yeah, these lyrics, man. I don't know. Let's read this here. Fools like me will cross the sea and come to foreign lands. Ask the sheep for their beliefs. Do you kill on God's command? Yeah, I don't know, man. The song's lyrics, they just continue to get more and more relevant. Damn, never noticed that, even though I've heard the song countless times. How do you call when someone has a funeral in Athens? Rust in Greece. Good, nice, good one. Yeah, don't look now to Israel, might be your homeland. Dave says Israel, really interesting too. There's no rye in Israel, right? Another thing I just want to say, I'm going to rewind it just a little bit here, boys. I really like the reverb and the production on the vocals, Dave's vocals. And I promise I'll let it play before I keep yapping on a little bit more. Dave's voice, huge amount of reverb on his voice as well. Really sounds like he is like in the hangar that you see on the screen. It really sounds like he's in the hangar singing here too. Another thing as well, Alice in Chains Be Damned, Dave Mustaine and Dave Ellefson are doing those really cool like fourth, perfect fourth, perfect fifth harmonies all through this album too. Really, really cool. This riff, that break, oh my god, so sick. Yeah, listen how huge the reverb is on his voice. Also, that last section there, maybe like the top 10 most unintelligible vocal sections in metal. This riff is so fucking cool, man. I hope Dave thanks Marty every day. Me too. Me too. So it's interesting, like a 7-minute song to start it off. We get the first solo briefly at 3.5 minutes into the song. Really interesting for not only this album, but Megadeth in general, right? We just had like, I guess you could count that little, like the classical flamenco guitar bit as a solo. But yeah, really interesting. Again, like Holy Wars of Punishment do. The lyrics kind of take a different turn right in the middle, and it kind of becomes more related to like the Punisher or the comic. I've never read it, but he relates it back at the end, which I think is really, really cool. Let's get that Orange Crush going, boys. Dude, just such cool solos, man. That little pick slide too, so sick. I just so many like little nice touches on this album. They're just packed full of so many small little things like that. Dude, great singing by Dave here. That's mistake. No more mistakes. Dude, oh my god, bro. These really like these choked riffs. Megadeth would use these a lot more later on, but Dave would just sort of like palm mute the notes instead. But it's interesting how it sort of first appears here on Rust in Peace. Then you hear it more on like Train of Consequences. And then it even goes on. You got like Kill the King and all these Megadeth songs that are really sort of just based on like the rhythmic chugging of like a right hand, basically. So interesting. Bass sounds good. Yeah, the bass sounds really good on this album too. The bass and guitars on this album are very, very equally balanced in volume. I heard Kerry King say in an interview that James was a better singer. I don't know. I would definitely say James is a better singer, but Dave Mustaine fits Megadeth and his music like a glove, if that makes any sense. to you. I love the drum sound on this album too, especially on the non-remastered version. It's just so like airy and dynamic and uncompressed. So good. Nice, Johnny. Yeah, that's what it sounds like. Yeah, buddy. The remixes sucks. For sure. I know pausing in the middle of a solo is like sacrilege, but I'll rewind a little bit. Interesting how during this whole solo where we get the whole like where Marty's going up the fretboard and then down the fretboard again, and he does this crazy sort of build up into the last section of the song. If you listen to Nick Menz's drumming, he literally is just playing the hi-hat the whole time. No crashes, no anything else. It's just a very straightforward drum beat. And so what that does, it really sort of like builds attention, right? Because you're waiting for a crash to basically like signal the end of a bar, and you don't hear it until the next section starts, so they go back to the intro riff. Dude, so cool, man. Again, just such small little touches that make this album so good. I think Dave is a decent singer. He just has a weird sounding voice, which is not really the same thing as being a bad singer. Yes, absolutely, absolutely. The bass of this riff is doing a weird harmony before the solo started. Here, let's run it a little bit. Oh yeah, that is interesting. Yeah, good point. Yeah, Nick Menza did pass away a little while ago. I think he was had drug problems. Look, no crashes on the drums, nothing. Listen, no fills, nothing. Just keep building that tension, like crazy intervals from Marty here. Oh man, no crashes still. And then we finally get a right as it comes into the next part. Just such a cool little section. It makes that whole, I don't know whatever you'd call it, that chromatic scale that Marty is shredding that gets to the top, that really builds it up, really makes that whole section feel very, very, very tense before it's released. And we get back again to like the main riff. So cool. It's Dave solo? Oh, nice. Dave killed it there. Fuck yeah. There's that lead from the intro here again. Bring it back right again. Goddamn, bro. Probably like the best opening track ever in history. Just right off the rip, super intense, super fast, technical, yet still groovy, melodic, but still kind of chunky and crunchy. So many just cool touches through the song, man. Unbelievably good. We all know that's a 10 out of 10 song, right, guys? We all know that's a 10 out of 10. Yeah, we all know that's a 10 out of 10. There's just so many small touches on this album that's just so cool. Here, let me grab this book one second. All right, so we got Dave Mustaine's book, Bust in Peace. I'm just kidding. Okay, let's read what Dave has to say about Holy Wars here. Holy Wars, the punishment due. The day after we played Antrim in Northern Ireland, I made my uninformed comments from the stage about, quote, the cause, end quote. We went to play Nottingham Rock City in England, and I started writing the lyrics to Holy Wars. It became one of our biggest songs. In fact, we close our shows with it. I think they open with it now, don't they? We used it to open our set until Vinnie Paul, the drummer from Terra, suggested we open with Hangar 18. That sounded like a good idea to me, so we moved Holy Wars at the end, where it always seals the deal. The first verse came straight into my experience at Antrim, which I assume is that festival in Ireland, everyone knows. Brother will kill brother, spilling blood across the land, killing for religion, something I don't understand. Fools like me will cross the sea and come to foreign lands. Ask the sheep for their belief. Do you kill on God's command? Then I invoke the prophecy from the Bible, which some people believe that peace will come to Israel on all four sides before the Antichrist and the Messiah return. I think this might be some post born again arc revisionism here by Dave, but you know, let's go. The end is near. The end is near. It's crystal clear. Part of the master plan. Don't look now to Israel. It might be your homeland. Holy Wars. Yeah, it might be your homeland right here in Ireland in the middle part of the song. I step up my soapbox talking about different types of people who try to indoctrinate and brainwash us with propaganda, the judge, the pastor, the salesman, the know-it-all scholar, the executioner, all these things. At this point, the song stops. The next portion of the song starts. A little break setting up the second half of the song. Quote, the punishment due, end quote. This was me writing through the lens of Frank Castle from The Punisher, a Marvel Comics anti-hero I loved. He is the assassin and he is unrepentant. His fierce indifference to his employers and enemies alike makes him immune to their judgments. And it all leads to climactic conclusion. I start with what they did to Frank Castle to harden his heart. They killed my wife and my baby with hopes to enslave me. First mistake, last mistake. Paid by the Alliance to slay all the giants. Next mistake, no more mistakes. The last line explodes every time in concert. The front rows of fans have their heads bobbing up and down, mouthing the words until next mistake, no more mistake. That serves the song's punchline, and the guitar calisthenics take off from there. Guitar calisthenics. That's a I like that. The song contains considerable complexity in the guitar work. It's almost like a polyphonic rhythm, where the rhythm alone is difficult enough, but doing and playing the singing at the same time is the musical equivalent of rubbing your belly and patting your head. Not easy. Yes, especially that first verse riff where he comes and it changes the main riff, and he has all those sort of like minor or major thirds sliding around. Unbelievable riff. You never know when a song comes from or where it's going to go. A lot of times they start off at totally different tempos. Holy Wars began life much slower. Once we get into the studio, we sped it up considerably. A great choice, in my opinion. The video was important to the song's success. We had a big video for the song directed by Benjamin Stokes and Eric Zimmerman, two video producers from Chicago we used to call Bert and Ernie. The video turned out great, I thought, except for one minor detail. We got enough grief from people making fun of us or playing with our shirts off, but when the little toy tank comes in during the middle of the solo and shoots a puff of smoke out of the cannon, I was beside myself. I never noticed that. That was about the dumbest thing I ever saw, and I told Bert and Ernie to take it out. I was furious when I saw they left it in. Apparently someone's girlfriend made the damn thing, so the tank stayed in the video. That's always how it happens, isn't it? Almost above all others, the song has a special place in our fans' hearts. To this day, whenever somebody puts a guitar in my hands, I will pick out the opening riff to Holy Wars and tell them what I played. Always works. It's like our Detroit Rock City. So that's what Dave had to say about Holy Wars in his book, and we'll read the next chapter when we get to the next one. So let's keep going on here, boys. Bass Vinnie Paul, for me, 9, so great. When we were in high school trying to cover the song, we would skip Marty's solos, but we could play Respectable. Chicago mentioned. What's up, Chicago? I just had the best practice section. Bro was gooning, bro. Okay. Hangar 18 up next, boys. Let's go. You know the vibes. One of the coolest opening riffs of all time, like in thrash metal, just cool chords. I just thought this intro is so unique. Such grooving on the bass and the drums here, man. Oh. Oh, man. One of my favorite drum fills of all time. Drums sound great here, by the way. I love how prominent the cymbals are in the mix, especially the hi-hat. The hi-hat is very, very prominent in the mix and has a very, very satisfying, like slushy sound to it. The best way possible. Really, really groovy. Yeah, X-Files definitely should use Hangar for sure. Such a unique riff here too. Okay, really quick before we get to the vocals, the bass in this part is interesting. We all know the guitar riffs are cool, but the bass plays along with the guitar riff once every 2 bars. So it'll play like a little octave there, but then it'll just pick and pedal the root note underneath it during the other parts. Really, really cool and interesting bass playing by Dave Elvson here that really gives the song nice momentum and sort of adds just a little bit more extra groove to it. Yeah, it's cool. Listen to the bass.
Welcome to our fortress tower. Take some time to show you around. Impossible to break these walls, for you see the steel is much too strong. Computer banks to rule the world. Instruments to sound the stars. Possibly I've seen too much. Hangar 18, I know too much.
One of Megadeth's most catchy vocal lines ever, in my opinion. The whole verse and chorus. It's so good, man. So good. Great singing by Dave here, too. It's sort of like right into like his lower range. Holy Wars, like he's singing a little bit higher. Here he's singing just a little bit lower, because I believe this song is in the key of A, rather than most of the times being the key of E, like in most Megadeth songs. Yeah, really cool. Bass playing sound was really good. I'm noticing on this list. Dude, it's killer. Really good. Dave is a killer lyricist. So good. Yeah, especially on this album. Really good. Uncle Ben did a great job down the rhymes. Both guitars and bass. Are you talking about what's his YouTube channel? I know. Again, such cool like little mini solos before they go back into like another riff. So cool. That's 2 mini solos in this song now. Oh man, that part is so sick, bro. Oh!
Inventory, spreading its fate of cryogenics, selective amnesia's story, leave the toll, the who suspect, military intelligence, to the words combined that can't make sense. Possibly I see too much, Hangar 18, I know too much.
Okay, so that's like the 4th short solo in the song. I just want you to really pay attention to the underlying riff underneath here. Very, very James Bond sounding inspired, right? You listen to a lot of the James Bond spy soundtracks, right? Really has that sort of like chromatic movement that really gives it this sort of like shifty, mysterious feel to it. And the under solo riff that's playing underneath of these short solos that they played earlier really has that James Bond feel to it from all the chromatic movement here. Very, very cool and interesting. Not just one of the best metal albums ever, but one of the best albums, period. I totally agree, bro. Totally. Varied use and clarity of cymbals in metal hook me a lot. Yes, yes. And if you see like Nick Benson's drum kit, he has like 6 different crash cymbals that he could hit that are all panned differently in this album. Really cool. I still don't know how some of these guys play and sing this shit. I saw Matt Heafy literally shred an entire solo while singing. Crazy. You just gotta practice, man. That's the only way. Just practice. They're very James Bond, those other solo riffs. Like, it literally sounds like it could have been on, like, GoldenEye 64. You know what I mean? By the way, if you guys would ever want to know more about the solos in Rest in Peace, I'm not the guy to explain them. I'm not a lead player at all. But Bradley Hall, I'm sure most of you guys know his channel, but he goes through like all the solos on this album here. So yeah, if you ever want to know a little bit more about the solos, go check out his album or his videos here. He does such a great job. Okay, I'm going to shut up here. Infinity out of 10 solo. Oh, hell yeah. Sick transition right here. So many sick transitions in this album. Yes, man. They're like the song, this album is extremely progressive in the song structures and the way it flows together, but it doesn't feel like work. It doesn't feel like you have to decode the songs yourself. They evolve and change very naturally, I find, in this album. Yeah, really, really, really interesting stuff. That's such like a killing is my business riff there. Again, like this song, it has just like 12 different solo sections because every solo, other than a few, are all very short, like 4 measures long. It's just so interesting. Another thing I want to point out, Dave Ellefson, such great, tasteful bass playing on this album. During the solos, his bass is like completely out of the way, sort of locked in tight, right with what the rhythm guitar is playing. But when there isn't guitar solos going on, he does a little bit more and gives it a little bit more pizzazz on the bass playing. Really, really great example of tasteful bass playing. Dave's solos in the album are annoying, to be honest. You can really tell the quality difference. That panning part is so sick too. So many cool little touches. Oh man, dude, that okay. You guys also know that's a fucking 10 out of 10 song. Absolutely. Yeah! Motherfucking 10 out of 10! Dude, yeah. Hangar 18 is like one of these rare songs where like the under solo riff is probably almost as difficult as the soloing part to it too. Love Tremolos. First time I've heard Megadeth described as tasteful. I would say a lot of Megadeth songs are pretty tasteful, honestly. Absolutely. Marty's playing is 100% tasteful. Dude, that's what I would actually describe Rest in Peace as. It's a very tasteful album. Very tasteful, technical, progressive album. It doesn't really... Like, even on this song, right? There's like basically 4 minutes of soloing in this album, but they change it up. And there's different riffs, and the solo sections are short. That it is very, very... It doesn't overstay its welcome. I don't know. I just love this album. Yo, Graphite, what's up, my man? What's up? I never had a Megadeth phase until I saw early Varvis vids breaking down this album. So good. Dude, I gotta get back. I gotta get back to the Rest in Peace glazing, but maybe this will do it. 9 out of 10. Most of the solos are mid, but most are insane. That's a good way to put it. I mean, like, there's so, you know, this album is like 36 years old now. How much crazy guitar playing have we heard since then? So I could definitely see that. But let's see what our boy Dave has to say about Hangar 18. Of course, right, the song is basically about Area 51 and aliens and all that stuff, which, if you guys want to know my opinion, I think it's almost a certainty that there are aliens out there. But, you know, just, you know what, there are billions of stars, so there are probably trillions of exoplanets. What are the odds that there isn't like bacteria on some other planet? Probably like 0 in my opinion, right? So, but whether or not it's intelligent, I think is the other question. Okay, Hangar 18. So yeah, this is from Rest in Peace, his book. Hangar 18. People often compare Hangar 18 to Call of Cthulhu off the Metallica album Ride the Lightning. Do they? It does have the same chord structure, although the chords are not playing the same sequence. I assume he's talking about the intro, maybe? But since I wrote both songs... Of course. It stands to reason they use the same chords. Okay, Dave. Yeah, okay. It's not played the same, but it is very similar to Call of Cthulhu, which started life as When Hell Freezes Over. But Hangar 18 has been around even longer. Before Metallica, I had a band called Panic, and we played the song. But back then, it was called N2RHQ. That's in quotes there. I had been in an airport where I saw Tailfin on a plane with the number NR2HQ. I thought that's into our headquarters. Oh, into our head. Oh, okay, I see. It literally is like N2RHQ. It's not gonna focus. Never mind. It's on manual. Anyways, how cool! It inspired me to write a song about a destination in outer space, our headquarters in space. Welcome to our fortress tall. Let me take some time to show you around. Impossible to break these walls, for you see the steel is much too strong. Computer banks rule the world. Instruments to sight the stars. I really like the rhyme scheme here in Hangar 18. Welcome to our fortress tall. Let me take some time to show you around. Impossible to break these walls. So basically, you have rhymes in the beginning, at the end of the sentence, right? Welcome to. Take some time. Or welcome to, right? Impossible. The way he sings it, it like kind of like internal rhymes out of the vowels. Cool. Really cool. It was that whole Tron/Star Wars/Star Trek thing. Hangar 18 was in the first song, but had everything except that tagline. Possibly, I've seen too much. Hangar 18, I know too much. We were listening to a lot of comedy tapes back then. I loved George Carlin and his oxonyms. Jumbo Shrimp, military intelligence, business ethics, which is where I lifted the line about military intelligence. So I guess military intelligence, 2 words combined that don't make sense, is from George Carlin. Cool. After that second verse at Hangar 18, it was time to get down with the guitar playing. I've been watching a commercial on TV for the U.S. Navy that showed a submarine and all the sailors inside going through their paces with a bit of music running underneath. The riff had a cool kind of energy that really struck me. I picked up my guitar and started playing around until I came up with the second half of Hangar 18 where the guitar solo comes in. Again, yeah, kind of cool, sort of like mysterious, like I was saying, very James Bondy, like in that first under solo riff in Hangar 18. Once we get to the solo part and start swapping off solos, it went Marty, Marty, me, Marty, me, Marty, me. And as we kept passing the baton back and forth, exchanging punches or whatever you want to call it, going back and forth between us, the solos, I decided we should speed up the song as we went along. At the end of each solo, there was a phrase following which we would bump up the tempo every time. The next time we hit each solo sections, the beats per minute picked up considerably. Oh, really? I actually never noticed that. There you go. So yeah, the solos speed up as it kind of goes on. Interesting. That's what makes the song sort of, I guess, feel so frantic at the end. Really, really cool. Dave and Marty's styles complement each other well. Dave's more crude and rough, but definitely fast and shreddy too. Marty's are slippy. Yeah, slippy and like slippery. Fun fact, Dave from Metallica wrote all this album. And it's not even that I always like stupid and shreddy, but there's a balance on this album thanks to Marty and just like the general quality of the songs and underlying riffs. Bro, absolutely. Great point there. But like, why would I listen to random shreddy chromatic nonsense when I can listen to some solo with good phrasing, notes, and choices? Just my preference. I agree. Marty solos are definitely better. Rhyming too much with too much is pure genius. Oh, absolutely is. Well, that's fair, but within the context of the album, you're just listening to chromatic random nonsense. The random super fast chromatic notes are placed strategically to build energy. Yeah, I can see that. Although the song itself doesn't have a bit of lyrics, but the whole song tells a story about Hangar 18. Yeah, it sort of leaves it all up to mystery. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm not denying your preference. Oh, you guys are okay. Sort of places I get it. I think the shreddy solos add nice texture for me. I really like, there's like a nice balance. That's the key here, right? Slayer's all like shreddy, chromatic, but Marty really gives a nice balance of things. It's good. Okay, boys, let's move on here now. So now we got Take No Prisoners, the third track. every time I listen to this song, I'm just like blown away by the intensity of this riffage and how heavy it is, despite being an E standard, bro. Absolutely amazing song here. The drumming in this song, unbelievably good, ahead of its time. I love that. I love that fill too. Ride cymbal. I think this is like we really haven't heard the ride cymbal that much before. I think a little bit in Hangar 18. The ride cymbal, especially the bell that Nick Menza plays, sounds so good and it's so loud in the mix too, which I love. This fucking riff, bro. What is this? This might actually be like the best thrash metal song ever made, low-key. That opening riff is a great example of that natural song progression you often talk about. Great stuff. Yes, absolutely, man. Absolutely. All these songs just evolve in such natural and seemingly like, I don't want to say like carefree, but it's just so natural. And yeah, you guys know what I mean. You guys know what I mean. I'm blanking on the words here. Riff sounds like an Anger Swarm beast. Dude, absolutely it does. Absolutely. Really great gang vocal sound there too. I think you can really tell, and you know, I'm not, this isn't anything to diss Human at all. You could definitely tell that Sean Reinert took a lot from Nick Menza on this album and he played it on Human. Such crazy drumming, especially on this section here, man. So cool, so unique, so creative, and the way he just matches along with the guitar is so cool. I'm just going to rewind it just a little bit here. The bass, too. Oh! This song has helped them both correct. Dude, these rats! That bass fill, bro. Interesting, like, the vocals here are almost kind of like texture. Again, like, Dave's saying words, but I'm really listening to the riffs here. And again, maybe one of the best bass fills of all time there. Right up there with Hammer Smash Face. Just some of the best bass playing ever. To be honest, for some reason, when I listen to technical metal albums, I feel like a vibe like they're made by aliens. I can kind of get that with Rust in Peace. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Just the technicality and how crazy intense, bro. Definitely does kind of feel like it's made by aliens. Yeah. Definitely doesn't... Yeah, it doesn't sound like different random pieces glued together. Yeah, totally. It evolves so naturally. I love this riff. Hey, Jose, man, thanks for coming by.
what your country can do for you. Take no prisoners.
Such a great pick slide here. And again, another example of this album. Just such great like mini solos. Almost kind of like call and response soloing here right at the end of the song. So good. Alex does not use us.
Take no shit. Take no prisoners. Take no shit. Take no prisoners. Take no
shit. Oh man, dude. That song, there's like no repeated sections, but everything just sort of like progresses and repeats and evolves so just naturally and like effortlessly, it seems like. I don't know. And then right at the end, that's when we get like the solos that kind of really sort of like elevates it, makes it much more like intense right at the end with like the gang vocals, the take no shit. Kind of relates to like a little bit back to the beginning of the gang vocals too. Dude, you guys know, man, it's another 10 out of 10, bro. The line, ask what your country could do for me, always hits. For sure. And the way he delivers it, too. Ask what your country can do for you. That huge pick slide by Marty, like right after. Oh, man. So fucking sick. Especially when it's tech death and such where the growling feels out of the world for me. Yeah, for sure. Like kind of like early Contortionist, the Faceless. Yeah, for sure. Okay, well, let's see what Dave, our boy Dave, has to say about Take No Prisoners. Okay, so again, off his book, Take No Prisoners. I've been watching a lot of World War II movies, and the whole military mentality at the metal world really struck me as so weirdly parallel. The kind of thinking really started to invade the top ranks of the Big Four. It was becoming the metal militia. It's about the same time that Tom Cruise started the movie Born on the 4th of July about the crippled Vietnam veteran Ron Kovic. Also, I had always looked up to President John F. Kennedy, even though I was 2 years old when he was killed. By the time I was a teenager and lived through Nixon, Ford, and Carter, it was time to register for the Selective Service. A friend and I went to the post office together and put each other's draft registration cards in the mailbox to make sure we did it. Hey, did you Americans, all the American bros in the chat, you guys make sure to register for the draft so you can go die for Israel? You guys know that? I was skeptical about foreign wars. What was it? Korea, that was threatening at that point, and different about politics. But I knew 18-year-olds were piloting these billion-dollar aircraft carriers, commanding the ship, and still towing the line. It occurred to me that these kids could sacrifice their lives, but still had to cut their hair. I'd already witnessed the treatment the Veterans Administration gave my dad, who was an Army vet, and I'd seen how a lot of these guys came back zombies, especially Vietnam veterans, who returned to be spit on. No parades for them. The treatment of Vietnam veterans was incredibly traitorous, and I think in any other era in history, besides the self-loathing 60s and 70s, that America was really going through a sort of like internal period of shame and guilt about their sort of rebelling against, right? America sort of represents anti-colonialism, being free from the British crown, yet here they were with an empire of their own. I feel like that sort of really caused big resentment and guilt manifested. But really, the song is about World War II and defeating the Third Reich. Even though my mom was German, I'm not anti-Semitic at all, so I don't think that's where I was going with this. To me, it was kind of like watching World War II go down. Got one chance, infiltrate them. Get it right, exterminate them. The Panzers will permeate them, break their pride, denigrate them. And their people, retrograde them. Retrograde, what a word. Typhus, deteriorate them. Epidemic, devastate them. Take no prisoners, cremate them, burn. I wanted the opening to sound like a drill sergeant barking out orders like Arlie Ernie as Gunnery Sergeant Hartman in Full Metal Jacket. I had the band and myself do a gang vocal, call and response. I picked up War is Peace from 1984 by George Orwell. Oh, now we got some nice photos. If you guys have never read this book, I would highly recommend checking it out if you're a Megadeth fan. Lots of cool stuff in here. I vamped on the TV commercial for the Army Reserves that promised, be all that you could be, joining the Army. And finally, I hit on the John F. Kennedy line. Don't ask what you could do for your country. Ask what your country could do for you. Take no prisoners. Take no shit. The riffing in the song makes Take No Prisoners one of the most complex songs on Rust in Peace. I think that's an understatement. The beginning explodes at breakneck pace, probably as fast as I could play that riff at the time. It's almost like a Chinese finger puzzle. And then they would go to play it like way faster at that one Rock in Rio concert. If you do it too fast, you lose the rhythm. There's a way to do it right where there's a beautiful flow, and I couldn't get it any faster anyways. There are snappy military parts of cadences on snares and some easy rhythms, then quick left turns into fierce solos. Fans love to sing the part at the end where I say, take no prisoners, take no shit. We always say that a bunch of times. It's always been a watchword with me. When people ask for my advice in life, I always say, don't take shit from anyone. Well, there you go. Especially when, the boomer fetish for Kennedy has been disastrous. Oh, buddy, absolutely. If we don't register, we get fined. You get sweet jail time. Brutal! Hate to hear that, boys. Hate to hear that. Hate to hear that. Okay, that's Take No Prisoners. Probably like the best thrash metal song of all time, my humble opinion. Let's move on. We got 5 Magics. You can go watch my breakdown for the song if you want to hear me talk about how the intro here is just really cool with the chords that are being played and the scales they're picking. But to me, the intro always just sounds like evil ritual or spell being done, right? It's sort of like mysterious, and then you have the guitar harmonies that come in that are so... It sounds like someone channeling like dark magic is what it sounds like. Oh yeah, dude, so good. And it's so cool how the guitars join in with the bass playing that kind of really evil, like slippery riff there too. Another part, these bass intros on 5 Magics and Poison Was the Cure really give the album a great sense of pacing. They almost give you like breaks, right? Because Hangar 18, Holy Wars, Take No Prisoners are all basically all completely balls out songs the whole time. So then 5 Magics comes with this sort of like lower key, slower pace intro with just the bass and the drums really and some guitar solos. And it really sort of like brings the energy back down a little bit so that they can raise it back up again later. Again, like if everything is heavy and everything is fast, then nothing is heavy and fast. You know what I mean? Gotta build that aura for the incoming alchemy. This intro is one of the trickiest riffs in Megadeth, in my opinion. Oh, it's so tricky, bro, for sure. I also love that bass harmonic there. Boo, boo, to the big slide. So fucking sick. Again, just so evil and ominous and like something is brewing, bubbling up, you know? Really cool drum playing by Nick Menza here. Very, very cool. Unique as well. Boom, boom. The bass in the sound is perfection. I agree, man. I agree. Some of the best playing of all time. Best bass playing of all time. And the bass playing is nothing like really catchy or showy. Like he's not playing fretless sweeps or arpeggios all over the place. Just extremely, extremely tasteful and groovy and completely locked in with the drumming. Oh, dude, the key change here is so good. Oh! Again, more call and response, short solos. This album is like one of the only albums I can think of that does it consistently over the whole album. It's just so fucking sick. Especially when you have a guy like Marty Friedman doing it. Oh, man. short solo. Three short solos now. Just such an interesting like opening, like right. They come in when the vocals come in, they go up in key, right? They go right up to I think F sharp is what they're playing the key there now. Just so interesting, and really that key change going up really like brings the energy of that section up, right? Tempo goes up. Then of course we have those cool Marty Friedman solos. And another thing I just want to point out here, and I don't think I said it the Five Magics breakdown, but this might be the only metal song I've ever heard that says the word wyvern. Wheel the wyvern in. What an interesting lyrics there. Wyverns, of course, right? I think it's like a Welsh name for dragons. That's what they call it. I just know it from like Warhammer Fantasy, where they had, I think the orcs had wyverns or something like that. Yeah, really cool. Such a cool opening section of lyrics there. This fucking riff too, man. What is going on? It sounds like dark magic, like crackling. Oh, Jesus. The solo! That part is so sick. I love that they sort of just have like these main hooks just like hidden throughout these songs here. It's not like they're choruses. They're just sort of like hooks hidden within the songs, right? Like Hangar 18, I know too much. Take no prisoners, take no shit. Holy Wars that he sings out, right? Next thing you know, they'll take my thoughts away. And this, right, that, give me alchemy, give me wizardry. Like, just so many, like, short little hooks in these songs that are just scattered throughout. Like, it's not all just crazy riffage and solos, guys, right? There's so many nice small touches and hooky moments. A wyvern is a dragon with no front legs. Ah, thank you, sir. Ender Dragon 5655. I think you would probably know that. I love short freaking solos. The guitar tone is tasteful too. Yeah, the guitar tone, especially in the solos, is very, very smooth. Yeah, the best way to put it is smooth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Another cool part, they changed to 5/4 time after that Magic's part. So the song before is 4/4, now they're at 5/4 time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Such a nice touch. Running Master Magic's fire. One of my favorite Dave Mustaine vocal performances here, especially on the end part, and it's just so sad that they lost the original vocal takes or whatever on the remaster, because the remastered ones are complete cheats. Yo, what's up, Metal Mount? Get some reading done, good sir. Again, this song is just so sick. Again, like we got the nice galloping things. This whole song is like a nice, right? If you think of like a graph of energy, right? It starts off small and just completely just builds and builds with the energy all the way to the end. Such a nice, again, nice, logical, natural progression in all these songs here, too. Despite the fact that there's no really, like, ever repeating parts in any of these songs, besides Tornado Souls. What a unbelievable sick solo. Oh my god. The drumming! Oh my god. Those opening bars? Yeah, man. Really, really cool phrase. Absolutely. Oh my god, dude. What an absolutely incredibly unique, cool song, man. There's no other song that sounds like Five Magics out there. And the way it builds and progresses, the topic it's talking about, wyverns, celestial virgins, like what is going on? Alchemy, wizardry, thermatology, what does that even mean? Again, and just so many like unbelievably cool solos, short solos, and then that one right at the end as it just builds and builds in intensity. Oh man, dude, that's a 10 out of 10 to me. I made a whole breakdown of the song, if you guys have never heard it, on my channel, like way back in the day before I even showed my face there. So if you want to check that out, I might redo it at some point, but I think that video still holds up. Five Magics really has the best collection of solos I've ever heard from any song ever, bro. True. I don't even know what to say every time I hear it. They left Earth making that song. Bro, so true. So true, man. They're just on some like... I don't know, man. Some like demon time or something. Or like, yeah, like alien powers just came down to Earth and just blessed it. Honestly, boys, low key, if there's ever like another Voyager spacecraft where you have to send out human art into the universe, bro, someone put rest in peace on it. Let the aliens hear rest in peace. Okay, let's hear what Dave has to say about Five Magics. I was living in the studio. Sorry, you guys know I can barely read. I was living at the studio in Vernon. I assume that's in LA or something. Not Vernon, British Columbia. I had built a loft and put a mattress and an overhead light up there. I had a heating element and a tin cup where I could boil water and make hot toddies and stuff. Okay. Sometimes I would climb into the loft with a girl, and sometimes I would sleep at their apartment, but often I would read at night before I went to sleep. It was a lonely time for me. One woman used to buy heroin from a dealer I knew. I would occasionally go with her to score and do a little bit. She would go all warm and fuzzy, and we would go to her house and spend the night. When she got up and went to work the next morning, she always told me what time I had to leave so I wouldn't be there when her roommate woke up. I would get myself up, make myself a cup of coffee, and leave by the time she wanted me to leave. Dave, Five Magics? That was where I found the book Master of the Five Magics, and it fascinated me. Written by Lyndon Hardy and published in 1980, the fantasy novel, first of a trilogy, follows the adventures of Alodar in the land of Procolon as he seeks to distinguish himself sufficiently to earn the hand in marriage of Queen Vendora. I read the book. I'm not a plagiarist, but the book influenced me considerably. I didn't even use the same Five Magics I made on my own. Yeah, we can tell, Dave. We can tell. The song is basically a combination of that book and the 1981 movie starring Rutger Hauer and Michelle Pfeiffer, Lady Hawk, a romantic fantasy involving dark magics and evil enchantments. But the song starts off much like the book, with our hero looking for these powers. Now, what part comes in the book? The wyvern, and that's the only thing I lifted directly. Parade the gray robe monks and the Vestal virgins wheel the wyverns in. It doesn't have anything to do with anything. I thought it sounded kind of cool. Bestow upon me knowledge, wizard, all-knowing, all-wise. I love that opening line. Bestow upon me knowledge, wizard, all-knowing, all-wise. Oh, man, some of the best singing, too. I want to rule my kingdom, make sweet the breeze once defiled, dethrone the evil prince's iron fists and velvet gloves of sin. That's another really cool line. Iron fists and velvet gloves of sin. Really cool. And then parade the gray robe mugs, the Vestal virgins, wheel the wyverns in. Even though all these five things are individual, they're the same. They're magics, but they're all different. They're similar, but they're not. By the end of the song, there's a weird sing-along part where I had a whole call and answer with the wizard. Possessed with hellish torments! And then, yeah, cool. I don't know who he is. I never said who the wizard was, if he was a good wizard, if he was a bad one. But then you hear his voice. I wanted to get this grotesque sound effect. We tried a bunch of electronic effects, and then I simply cut my hands and spoke in my hands, and there's this perfectly evil, hellish sound effect. That was my little evil dude, my hands. That was my evilness. So that's kind of cool when he sings like, you know, possessed with hellish torment. That's kind of cool. Every time I sing the song, I picture him talking to Merlin. I don't know why I didn't come out and name him. I probably did in the first draft, but I didn't. Notice after he goes, he who lives in sin, he's waiting. And when I say, will surely live the lie, there's no answer. Why is there no answer? Is the bad guy and I'm the good guy now? I've got the 5 magics. I'm hunting the Abyss Lord. So obviously I'm a good guy. But who was I talking to? Is it even me? Is it Narcissus? Is it an echo? What is? I don't want to be some fucking overly moral dude, but I do dig Aesop, and now we always put a good ending to his fables. I did not want people to think there was anything good about black magic. That stuff wrecked my life for many years. People knew that I did witchcraft, but that's something I never wanted to be popular. That doesn't really explain much about the song, but I always appreciate it. Thanks, Dave. Okay. Tornado Souls is still the top of the S tier songs of the sound for me. Tornado Souls is kind of like low-key one of my least favorite tracks, but I definitely know why people like it. Like you were talking about with the hooks, I always love singing along with the I mastered 5 magics, especially someone with an interest in Western esotericism. Is just such a fun song, bro. Absolutely. The 6 magic, they never mentioned in the song. Oh no, what song are we on? Oh, 5 magics. Yeah. We'll be moving on to Poison's Cure. Yeah, it's interesting to me. You know, I think there's a lot of topics to be explored in Western esotericism. I'd love more songs about alchemy. That'd be cool. More alchemical songs. Okay, let's move on here, boys. So again, Poison was the cure. It starts with another like bass intro, and it kind of gives the album like a nice low point, right? Low point in energy, as the first 3 songs just so crazy, and 5 Magics ends in such a high intensity way as well. Really cool. Such a unique intro to song, like nothing else in metal sounds like this. I love the I love that was the guitars and drums come, they just end. There's no crash cymbal, nothing. You just bro, yeah, cool. The song builds up really nicely. Great bass tone too. And because, sorry, we'll let it play right after this, but basically that was like a minute of that really ominous bass and drums and kind of guitar intro. Just really builds up a lot of tension in this already short song, right? The song is only 3 minutes and what? It's only 3 minutes long, 2 minutes 59 seconds, and the first minute is just this build up, right? And then when they finally hit that, just feels like such a release of energy and tension. It's so cool. Another thing too, I love the snare sound on this album. There's a lot of like the under snare mic, right? So when you mic a snare drum, you have one mic on top, one on the bottom. And there's a lot of the bottom mic in the mix. So you can really hear the snares rattling, especially when he's doing sort of like ghost notes and these more like snare rolls. Really, really cool production. This song might be like top 10 most unintelligible metal songs ever. Like if I didn't have the lyrics pulled up in front of me, I'd have no fucking clue what Dave is saying at all in this song. Such a killing is my business tier riff here as well. Kaborski, let's listen to Rest in Peace today, good sir. If anybody didn't have the lyrics, could they understand a single word Dave says there? And you know what? It doesn't matter because the riffs are the hooks. The vocals here are just textures. Thrash lyrics here, I agree. Taste me! That part's so sick. The riff that's being played over top of like the thrash chugging here, very, very like country and bluegrass inspired. Actually, hold on, we're actually gonna pull this up. Really, really unique in terms of like thrash. Really cool. Where is it? Okay. Let me solo this shit here. Very, very like country almost riff here. Like you would hear somebody playing this almost exact same type of riff at like a country bluegrass song, right? You know, all those like pull-offs. Really, really interesting. Just such a unique thing to put in a thrash song for sure. Yo, good man, what's up? Yeah, banjo riff, yeah, exactly. Such a unique, interesting ending solo in this song too. But yeah, banger song too. Not my favorite on the album here. I'm gonna give Poison Was a Cure. Poison Was a Cure is like a 9 out of 10. Yeah, 9 out of 10. But to me, it doesn't like just because this song is a 9 out of 10, like everything else is a 10 out of 10, does not diminish the quality of this album at all, in my opinion, right? No, nothing is perfect, right? There's no such thing as perfection. And I like a little bit of humanity in the songs. They're trying a little bit something different. Interesting intro, that cool, like as John or as Dragon said, like a banjo riff in the middle, like cool ending solo, nice little hook with the taste me. So cool. Yeah, great song. Does not diminish at all from the overall quality down for me. You can solo it. Yeah, you can solo shit in Songster if you pay for the premium or whatever. I do it. I just find it so useful, especially for me trying to like learn and break down songs. Great solo. I can go with that, Sor. Brett Hines from Mastodon had this style in several songs. Yeah, that's sort of like chicken picking kind of stuff. All right, so let's hear what Dave R himself had to say about Poison Was the Cure. Okay. I thought I knew what the song was about. At least I thought I knew, but when I looked back, it occurred to me that I'd written a metaphor for heroin and not my relationships. I missed the warm embrace I felt first time you touched me, secure and safe in open arms. I should have known you'd crush me. Anyone who's ever done heroin knows that's what it feels like. I've never done heroin. Can anybody confirm? A snake you were when we met. I loved you anyway. Pulling out your poison fangs, the venom never goes away. That was about getting to a point where I was bit by heroin or an individual. At this point, I couldn't tell you which one the song was about. In the end, I finally regained my conscience. If you looked over all my songs, you see that most of my songs start off with the protagonist facing adversity, but by the final chorus has overcome his enemies and emerged victorious. There's always a moral to the story. That's the Aesop Fables thing again. Right? Aesop, one of the great Western orators, playwrights, philosophers, whatever you want to call them. From a rock star to death fool, that was my destiny, someone said. Life's a tide pool, taste the waters, life's abundant. Does anybody hear any of those words in the song when he's playing? Again, I can't, this song's so like unintelligible, it doesn't even matter, it's still based. That last line was something that came from my drug counselor, Bo Canegra. Life's a tide pool, taste the water. He was a great influence on me getting and staying sober, but he was not a songwriter. He came to me in Ellefson once and said that he had written some lyrics he wanted us to see. It was kind of sad. I didn't want to say anything about it to him. I'm not sure if he was kidding around, but he wrote, "The moon behind the clouds is so big." I told him, don't write lyrics, just say counselor. Dave, poison was a cure. What about the riffs? Anything? Instead, he just uses to talk shit about his drug counselors. Terrible summary. I gotta love Dave Mustaine. I love Dave Mustaine. All right, boys, let's keep moving on here. Then we got Lucretia. Oh, dude. Opening laugh. Another crazy hook right off the beginning. Just the opening laugh. Amazing. Ah, dude. This opening riff. How do you come up with this? What is that? Dude, I fucking love the drums that Nick Benz is playing there. On the crashes, just so fucking sick. Great singing by Dave in this song, man. Dude, that ride sound, man. Oh my god, sounds so good. Such cool song structure here, right? Intro, and we have this verse, then we go right back to the intro. It's almost like the intro is the actual verse of the song, and the small sections of lyrics are kind of like the chorus. Oh, dude, just so cool, so groovy. Underrated song in this album, technical and catchy. Oh, bro, absolutely. I also did a full breakdown of this song on my channel. You guys should go check that out as well if you want to get more depth on like the music theory and stuff like that. Watch the documentary about Nick Menza last night. It gives you more of an appreciation for drumming. This is the only one he recorded with Megadeth without a click track. Damn, that's probably why they're so kind of like subtly groovy and pushing and pulling in the momentum here. Just, dude, this album is so good. And the drumming, man, is just out of control. Like so underrated in how influential the drumming in this is on this in the album. The drumming is on this album, right? Because 1991, of course, like Human would come out, and that was just such a crazy, again, another game changer, just metal drumming. So good. That riff, man, what the fuck? Again, great gang vocals in this album too. The gang vocals sound massive. This might also be one of the only metal songs besides King Diamond to say sit in Granny's rocking chair. What? Yeah, like, bro. Again, like the riffs here on this album just evolve so naturally and just effortlessly. Like this riff here is just such a cool like permutation of both the intro riff and the verse riff that's being playing. It's like a mix of both, man. So sick. Probably top 3 in this album. It's so difficult to choose a top 3. Yeah, I totally agree, man. So totally agree. Oh, dude, this solo. man, Bradley Hall again. He does a great job. He did like an interview with Marty Friedman where he sort of goes over that solo with them, right? Because there's like these underlying chord changes that are being played in the rhythm, guitars, and the bass. And after this, like it becomes like Marty Friedman's solo. He chooses different chord arpeggios that he's playing over all these different changes, but they're not like, you know, oh, the minor, the major. He's playing like, just go watch the interview with Bradley Hall. Such unique insight on the solo on that song, especially that section right there. I love it there. After when they move to Dave's solo, they go back into the actual like riff that plays underneath the singing too. So Dave not only sings over this riff, but then he solos over the same riff. A nice little touch there too. This is probably the best solo on this album after Tornado solos. I would agree with that. I think these solos better than Tornado. The vocal choices on the verse are a bit too much for me. This is middle of the pack, back half for me. For me, it's Rust in Peace, Lucretia, and Holy Wars, and an honorable mention for Hangar 18. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Oh, this. Oh! That run is so sick. Nice pick slide too. Bam. Oh man, dude. Yeah, unbelievable, like sick back half of the song too. Again, the moving back and forth between Dave and Marty's solos is so sick, and that one run at the end, the or whatever the hell it is. Oh man. And then of course like Marty Friedman's solo over top of that changing chord riff. Oh bro. 10 out of 10, absolute money song. Hell yeah, hell yeah. Ryan says, good energy drink choice, by the way. Thank you, sir. Yeah, the Rain Rainbow Sherbet. I used to be a big Monster guy, but for like 2 months here in Canada, the Monster was having trouble like shipping them here. So I became a Rain convert, and I'm never going back. All right. Let's read what Dave has to say about Lucretia. Such a great riff, groovy and heavy. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Lucretia is a subject of much controversy. People want to know who Lucretia is. They tell me I spelled her name wrong. They have all sorts of opinions about the song, but they are all wrong. I wrote this song about some make-believe thing in my head, and I named her Lucretia. I don't even know who this is. I made it all up, and I can spell her name any way I want to. Well, that settles it right there. Thanks, Dave. Thanks, Dave. Sitting up late at night, I tiptoe through the darkness. Cold as hell, black as spades, aware of my immediate surrounding. In my place, I escape up into my hiding from everyone. My friends will say, Dave, you're mental anyway. Hey, one of the only songs where he kind of like references himself in the second person here. Really cool. Or third person. I can remember when I was sneaking through the houses getting loaded, how my life had sunk to such a level of debauchery and hiding stuff from everybody. I was also reminding my loft of the studio that was a place where I could escape up into my hideout, hiding from everyone. And then it says, drift into a deeper state. I stalk the cobweb stairways. Dirt grits beneath my feet. The stair creaks. I precariously sneak. That's me falling asleep and going to that place where you drift off in the twilight. It goes, hypnosis guides my hand. I slip slide through the walkways. Sit in Granny's rocking chair. Memories are whirling by. Reminiscing in the attic. Lucretia waits impatiently. Cobwebs make me squint. The cobra so eloquently glints. When I was young, the comedian Jonathan Winters had a television show where he'd go up into his attic and explain all the shit he had up there. I suppose it was some kind of physical representation of the buildup inside of his brain. One of the things he's had inside was a stuffed snake. I pictured myself being up there in this attic with all this crazy shit and a stuffed snake, a stuffed mongoose, and two of them sitting across from each other, a crystal ball between them. Moonbeams searched through the sky. The crystal ball was energized. Surely that, like the cat waiting, Lucretia rocks away. I finished it off with Lucretia rocking because I pictured an old granny woman, but because she's this gypsy up there in the attic, she doesn't care about anything. I will say this book is based, but he doesn't explain fuck all about any of these songs, really. If you bros haven't read the Rust in Peace book from Dave, I suggest you get it and read it. What a Chad did. Yeah, this book is really good. I just wish he would explain a little bit more about the guitar playing, but whatever. Okay, boys, let's move on. I have Tornado Souls is next. I also have done a deep dive on this song. Make sure you check that out. Also, this will be my one begment for the day. This stream is not monetized in any way. I'll chop it up to a video later, but I don't make any money from the stream. So if you want to become a member of the stream, become a member of the channel, send a super chat, I'd really appreciate it. Thank you, boys. Begment over. DSP done. All right. The main riff is so fun to play. The ending changing every other line is awesome. Way too tricky to sing and play at the same time, too. Oh, yeah, man. Same. That was my main complaint with the book. Yeah, it kind of goes off a little bit rambly, a little bit Dave Mustaine. I hope he maybe redoes it. Maybe that'd be cool. All right, let's go. Tornado Souls. Again, another like really kind of bluesy riff here too. Really cool bass fills on this song too. A lot of really, really interesting bass fills. To me, this is sort of like, I explained this in my deep dive, but this song is like Megadeth's best version of them sort of interpreting sort of like a hair metal sound with their technical thrash side. Really, really cool version of the song here. Love this brief quick key change. Not for the pain. Back up. Again, Alice in Chains be damned. Megadeth was doing those perfect fourth and perfect fifth harmonies way before them. Well, not way before, but you know. Really interesting drum beat here. Really interesting drum beat by Nick Menza here, and kind of a little bit different. This song is also surprisingly difficult to play down-picked as intended, because it's a pretty fast song. You're kind of down-picking the whole song. My band used to cover this, and I would play bass for it. Your arm gets very, very tired if you're trying to down-pick it the whole time. Ashes in your mouth? Bass choice, Daniel. From the tears, just have a fuse. But now I'm safe in the eye of the tornado. I can't replace the last little faster days go. My body is trapped inside. When I will surely die in the eye of the tornado. Blow me away. Who's to say? What's for me to say? Again, this album is just like filled with just like weird little hooky moments. Another really cool little hooky moment is Nick Menza's drumming during the little break there. Who's to say what's for me to hear? Just so many cool ass sick moments. Also, I forgot to say the one drum fill that Nick Menza plays in the Lucretia right at the end, he goes, oh, just one of my favorites of all time. Who's to say what's for me to be? forget the upcoming drum fill, man. Such a sick drum fill. Ah, dude, so good. I like here they sort of refrain the intro riff that they're playing, but move around. The chords are changing underneath the riff this time now. Really, really interesting change up from the first time they play it. Metallica always sounded so two-dimensional, whereas Dave went full 5D with Rest in Peace. Oh, buddy, absolutely. This is definitely a 5D album. Let 1,000 Daves go. 1,000 Daves go. The dual solo in Ashes in the Mouth always gives me chills, bro. Oh, absolutely. Ashes in Your Mouth. Expect a deep dive in that song coming pretty soon here, guys. You guys like Gojira? I do. I love Gojira, bro. Yeah, one of those songs, so much hype, 100% leaves up to it. Yeah, buddy, absolutely. I do a deep dive on The Art of Dying on my channel if you want to hear it. Again, the chords changing under this riff really changes how you feel here. It's so sick. Again, the riff just evolves so naturally, it progresses so effortlessly, man. Common theme here. Yo, what's up, Julian? What's up, buddy? I think one of the things that make the solo stand out right away for me too, it's by far the longest solo on the album. It's a really, really long solo. It's almost a minute long, man. Especially compared to all the other songs you've heard so far, that a lot of them are very, very brief and like succinct solos. And then we have one here on Tornado of Souls where Marty can really sort of lean into the underlying chord progression and really sort of like extrapolate on it. And again, just so many cool like licks and lines and scales being used here. Oh, dude, like the solo has been talked about endless amount of times, but it always lives up to the hype, man. So good, so good. This was the first Megadeth song I've heard and was hooked since. Bass-based. I love how you get the main riff and it's just Dave playing, but he gives little saps to the rest of the band, and the moment where the whole band comes in on my favorite. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. What's better, Risk or Saint Anger? That's actually a good question. I actually kind of like both. This might be the best metal solo ever. I agree. Bro, I met Megadeth on Tuesday. I was so starstruck I didn't even know what to say. How did Dave like his bead thing your buddy made for him? You lucky bastard. He's still Marty doomed to play until he's 90. True. Despite liking Lucretia more, I still absolutely love the song. Super musical solo. I just got to talk with Dirk at a drum clinic. 59 seconds long. Incredibly nice guy. Saw my rip. Nice. Dave said, "Come step up to the green X to me." Nice. I know to say just thank you. You should have said, yeah, I wouldn't know what to say either. I would just say thanks, Dave. You're the best. This next little section here before we get to like the last riff of the song, really, really cool bass fill that really builds up the tension. Really, really cool. Dave Ellefson kind of like moves up the scale and plays all these interesting note choices here. That was really, really cool to learn and try to play here as well. Megadeth Anthrax concert was awesome. You ever heard of the band Acid Bath? Yes, I have heard of Acid Bath. Anthrax is unreal, and I'm surprised. Anthrax was good, bro. Do the bass, look at the bass. Really, really cool that his like bass almost takes like on like a piano quality in the sound that it gives right at the end there. So sick. Oh man, yeah. I mean, do I even need to say it, guys? Do I even need to fucking say it? If that song was literally like just the solo section, it'd be a 10 out of 10. Yeah! I find myself skipping the outro a lot for the song. I agree. The solo is just such a like high part that everything else kind of seems a little bit lackluster, but I feel like in the broader context, the outro is very necessary to like tell the rest of the solo or the story for the song. Which, by the way, I did make a deep dive on it. Go check it out. Some might say they were better than Megadeth that night. You know what, man? I could definitely see Anthrax putting out a good show. Not for me. I've actually seen Anthrax live like twice. I don't know. The first time I saw my second concert ever was the Rust in Peace 25th anniversary tour, I think it was, with Anthrax and Testament opening. My mom actually fell asleep during the concert for Anthrax. All right, let's see what Dave, the man himself, had to say about Tornado of Souls. Do you like Sepultura? I like some Sepultura songs. I've never really listened to them much of my own, but every song I've heard from their later stuff I really like. Not a big thrash Sepultura song. Can we say Tornado of Souls is the best Megadeth song? I wouldn't say it's the best Megadeth song. Definitely a Triple S song, but not my favorite. Okay, this is what Dave had to say about Tornado of Souls. While I obsessively listen to news about pop stuff like Forever Your Girl, the new single from Paula Abdul that people claim that she didn't actually sing, Tornado of Souls came... What does that have to do with anything? Anyways, Tornado of Souls came out of my immense pain over the end of my 6-year relationship with my fiance, Diana. While I was in rehab at the Beverly Hills Medical Center. My disease was so rampant and was ruining everything I loved and everyone, especially the girl I wanted to marry. In the end, we never really could connect. We could get along for periods of time, but we would always end up fighting. I believe we cared about each other a lot, but for whatever reason, we couldn't definitively hook up. It came to me, we were always safer in the eye of the tornado. I don't know why we came up with that saying, but that's what it was. This morning, I made the call, the one that ends it all. Hanging up, I wanted to cry, but damn it, this well's gone dry. Not for the money, not for the fame, not for the power, just no more games. The song came from the deep regret over my breakup with Diana, even though Chris Poland had a hand in some of the later verses, and someone else took a stab at the Timbuk 3 song, The Future's So Bright, I Gotta Wear Shades. It was basically a letter I wrote to Diana because of the breakup if I tried, even though I wanted to. But now I'm safe in the eye of the tornado. I cannot replace the lies that let 1,000 days go. No more living trapped inside. In her way, I'll surely die. In the eye of the tornado, blow me away. Yeah, so in the deep dive, I talk about this, but again, like the best songs, the lyrics are written in a way where they mean a certain thing, but they're sort of ambiguous enough and poetic enough and metaphorical enough that you could sort of take and apply the lyrics to your own situation. This song was written about Dave and his fiancée, Diana, but they also could be applied to drug use, to alcohol abuse, basically anything that is bad for you, but you're safe in the eye of the tornado, which, by the way, tornadoes do actually have eyes. They're very, very small compared to hurricane, though. So, right, it's like safe in the middle of the chaos, essentially, is what safe in the eye of the tornado means. So it can be applied to so many things. That's what makes it a really, really interesting lyrical song as well. Roots. The only thing I can think of whenever I hear Joey singing and butchering is Am I Evil during the Big Four concert. Can't wait to hear what Dave says about Dawn Patrol. My first concert was Crater and Testament. I honestly cannot tell you which one had the better live performance. They both killed it. Based. Dave and Michael Jackson are talking about Diana. Elite Dirty Diana reference. I actually really like the outro. It's very sing-alongable, for lack of a better term. Yeah, exactly. All right, boys, so let's keep moving on here. Now we got Dawn Patrol. Again, this is just another great example of pacing in the album. A little small break, so to speak, right? After you had Poison is the Cure, Lucretia, Tornado of Souls, all very intense songs, and you get this sort of break. Again, more bass and drums. Great drum sound here. They added a little bit more reverb to sort of fill out the space. Really, really cool. Really catchy bass line as well. They use this bass line in the background of like many things that Megadeth does, including in the background of the euthanasia documentary too. Very cool. And the sanity they lose.
Awakened in the morning to more air pollution warnings. Still we sleepwalk off to work while our nervous systems check.
I can't help but to think, I have not read the section, or I don't remember what he says about the Dawn Patrol, but to me, I can't help but think this is definitely influenced by kind of what happened at Chernobyl, right? Obviously, he's talking about some sort of like environmental catastrophe, right? Dawn Patrol. This is Dave Ellison's The God That Failed moment. True. That might be Five Magics, though, that intro.
Pretending not to notice our history and forebode us with the greenhouse in effect. Our environment was wrecked. Now I can only laugh as I read our epitaph. We end our life as moles in the dark of the Dawn Patrol.
I love that. It's just so cool, Dave, like, imitating a mole. It's such an interesting song. I see this song as a break for Menza before the drum storm that comes with Rest in Peace, Polaris. Yes, that's what I'm saying. It's like the album paces itself very well as like a self-contained unit, right? Like I said, everything is heavy and fast and nothing is. And Dawn Patrol really does a really great job of bringing the energy back down after the ending of Tornado of Souls, before like the punishment and pummeling everything of Rest in Peace, Polaris. It does a really great job of like bringing the energy back down. Again, such great pacing. I feel like this is the weakest song in the album, but I enjoy the change in pace. Yes, that's a good way to put it. Necrophagus reference. Could be. I love it. It ends on a nice big bass power chord too. Yeah, I don't know. It's sort of, to me, this is more like an interlude or an intro than like its own self-contained song, right? This is the toilet break. Yeah, the piss break before the main event, for sure. I wish they did it so that the groove evolved into a full song. Yeah, would have been cool. Would have been cool. But I like it. I like it the way it is. I like it the way it is. Not everything has to be, you know, I like it. I like it. Again, like I said, it's just a nice change of pace and a break. Definitely the weakest song, but that bass line is sick, though. Yeah. For me, I don't know. I'll give that an 8 out of 10. But, again, like, it doesn't diminish the quality of the album for me in any way, especially because it's so short. Just a nice little brief interlude. 8 out of 10.
What's up, everybody in the house tonight? What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody in the house tonight? What's up? What's up? Yeah.
All right. Okay. So now we're on to the final song on the album, the title track, Rest in Peace, Polaris. A lot to say about this one, and we'll go through it. But again, I know Dave Lombardo, crazy drumming and crazy drum production, especially on South of Heaven and Seasons in the Abyss. But to me, like the groove, and technicality, and punishment, and the production on Rusted Peace, it's just like untouchable, man. Okay, let's keep going, boys. I love what's up? What's up? Yeah, Ed Repka, that was the guy, Julian. To me, this song is very like symbolically musical. It's to me, it's like the beginning with the drum intro. It almost sounds like machinery turning and churning, like the gates to the missile ports are opening, right? And then as soon as the guitars and bass comes in, it sounds like the missiles firing off and rocketing out into space. Very, very symbolic this song is, man. So sick, so sick. Like this sounds like missiles like firing off, like ICBMs firing off. Another short solo, cool bass fill. Polaris. Really, really great drumming here. The drumming is so locked in with every single note the guitars and bass are playing. Like Nick Menza hits a kick drum like every single time they pick anything here. So fucking sick, man. Nick Menza proving once again that musicians who are good at jazz are superior beings. Fuck jazz. This might be like This might be Dave Mustaine's. Sorry, I'm reading Death in the chat. Now you got me all fucked up. His like most aggressive vocal performance ever. Like really, really nasty grunting vocals in the song here. This is my favorite guitar riff to play in the album. The first one, that one, that's such a good riff, bro. So good, man. Dude, again, such cool drumming. There's so many cool little touches that Nick Menza does in this song. He plays a lot with like the ride, like a lot of Nico McBain sort of like ride ones here. And then when it finally gets to the chorus, you have the Launch the Polaris. That riff and whole section there just sounds like missiles raining down on country. It's like Launch the Polaris. Oh, dude, so sick, man. Unbelievably good. Your stomach turns. Your flesh creeps. Let's read the lyrics here, because I got to pause it. You should get mad. Okay. I spread disease like a dog, discharge my payload mile high, rotten egg, air of death, wrestles your nostrils. Really, really like interesting, very metaphorical lyrics here. Again, like spreading disease like a dog and discharging his payload mile high, and like a rotten egg air of death. Like you can sort of like picture the smell of that, like a rotten. It's very fascinating lyrics again. Listen to the drummers. And this song, like, it repeats this section basically like 3 times, right? That goes like the 1 riff, 2 riff, 2 riff, chorus. Repeats it like 3 times. To me, it almost sort of like, you know, the rest of this album doesn't really repeat things very much besides this song. So this song, it's almost like pounding it in. Like, the nuclears just keep getting launched. The missiles keep coming. Just so cool. Another thing, too, during the chorus, right? Dave Ellefson moves away from playing with the band again, right? He goes and just chugs pedals the open E while the guitars go the which really sort of enhances that sound of like missiles falling down, right? Dave Ellefson's bass pedaling the low open E versus the guitars, the 2 lead guitars, rhythm guitars, whatever you want to call it, like over top of it. So like his bass is the ground and the riffs like are falling onto it. Just so many cool things. Amazing title drop, yeah, buddy. Amazing title drop. See, bass locking horns with the guitars here. Listen. Now the bass drops out to play the low E. Oh, dude, so sick. We will defeat. And then it fakes you out too. You think it's gonna go back again to like the then we get a completely different change to one of like the most maniacal, punishing, pummeling, destroying riffs on the album, bro. So good. The riffs at the end here are just so like punishing, but they don't sound like a completely different song. It sounds like they're just natural like permutations of like some of the other riffs we've heard in the song. Again, like I've said this many times, but these songs just progress so naturally and effortlessly. It's just amazing. Varvis, are you a big tattoo guy? I've been debating on getting this album tattooed. This album could be a cool album cover. I don't have any tattoos, nor do I ever want any tattoos. I don't want anybody. Skin is in, buddy. Skin is in. I love the drums in this song. The drums are amazing, man. Such groovy drums here, too. Throw these rags! This whole ending section here just sounds like an international like trading of ICBM missiles, bro. Like this is what it sounds like. It's just so pummeling, punishing. And again, no guitar solos in this song besides that very brief first one, which is such a drastic change from the rest of this album. It really sort of brings home how intense and not pretty it will be, I guess, if that makes any sense. riffs are hard enough as it is. It doesn't even need to be. It's like they're soloing. The riffs are soloing. And that's how they leave it, right? Eradication of Earth's population loves Polaris. You know, like, I know this is written, like, right at the end of the Cold War. So I know, like, the fear of nuclear Armageddon was very, very prevalent at the time. But to me, Rest in Peace, it almost seems like a celebration, right? We should be celebrating the end of the Cold War. We got literally the good ending. Right? The Earth didn't get destroyed. Billions weren't killed in nuclear annihilation and international trading of missiles. Things just kind of ended with a sad, wet fart, which is like the best possible ending that we could have had to the Cold War. So to me, Rest in Peace Polaris really sort of seems like a celebration of it. And I don't think Dave realized at the time, I guess, that he's writing a celebration of it. For me, man, absolute 10 out of 10 track again. Yo! Primal! Take no prisoners. Missed the last couple streams, sadly, but I love your passion for the album. It rivals Bradley Hall's, dare I say. Hope you have a killer day, bud. Hey, Primal, my good sir. Thank you, my good man. I really appreciate the super chat. Unnecessary. I really do appreciate it. Bradley Hall, definitely, like I said, go check out his videos if you want to see more, especially about the solos. Incredible solos. But yeah, to me, Rest in Peace, it just really feels like a big celebration. I know when it came out, the Cold War wasn't like officially ended, I guess, but you know, the sort of like boomer dichotomy and the boomer sort of secular dismay, I guess, over the Cold War, right? Because all of a sudden governments had the power of God to destroy everything, and that didn't happen. And it is something we should celebrate, right? Let the warheads rest in peace. 10 out of 10, both the whole album and the song. Oh, buddy, absolutely. I forgot I did not read the section about Dawn Patrol, so let me do that right now for you guys. Dawn Patrol, David Ellefson wrote this bass line, a simple little riff that didn't impress me at first. I kind of thought it was lame to tell the truth, but it stayed in my head. Then, after waking up in the morning, having watched the night before Jean-Claude Van Damme movie Time Cop, and having a crazy dream about it, I scribbled down the lyrics to Dawn Patrol, and I told Dave Ellefson, play that riff again. Coming to the end of Rest in Peace, I hadn't realized that Ellefson hadn't written anything on the album that led to serious disagreements in the past. On a lot of records, there's been one track where everybody credited as a songwriter so that everybody is sharing the publishing. He played me the lick again, and I arranged it for the demo. I started talking over the track, acting like the psycho from the future in this movie, and in the end, we spent our lives as moles. That was B distorting my voice in a twisted little knot. I had this crazy image I drew from the scene in The Deer Hunter, where rats trapped under a helmet gnaw at a wounded soldier's stomach. And in 1984, with cages on people's faces and rats in front of their faces, the thought of being chewed up by rats or any kind of wild animal for that matter can drive you insane. It's not something I'm afraid that will happen to me, but in my mind is irresistibly gnarly. The song basically my interpretation of Megadeth in the future and people who were in authority. And I think everybody should know Megadeth, right, is a unit of measurement. 1 Megadeth is 1 million deaths. Which, if you look at it in the hemoclism, which here you go, boys, here's a new word for you. Hemoclism. This relates to the incredible shed of blood and incredible intensity of violence that occurred from, I bet you could say, you could probably put it right from the First Boer War to the end of World War II or the end of Korea. That's the hemoclism. That period of time is like 100 million deaths, 100 mega deaths of people. So hemoclism, there you go. Okay, now I'm going to read you the section about Rest in Peace. When Metallica first started, okay, now we're back to Metallica when we're talking about the song Rest in Peace. All right. When Metallica first started, we did a lot of cruising up and down the Pacific Coast Highway, Hetfield, Lars, and me. We would drive from Orange County to Huntington Beach because that was where all the partying was. That's where all my friends were. I had gone to Marina High School at Huntington Beach. I would hitchhike up there all the time. That was where I first got my appetite for playing music at the kegger parties. We would go from party to party, drink, get blasted, and watch people play. There was something about live music that thrilled me. When the lights in the house went out and the tiny red lights on the amps gleamed in the dark at those house parties, I was captivated. Before I joined Metallica, are we going to get to the song, Dave? Even before my first band called Panic, there was only a drummer called Dave Harmon and me. Dave had a drum set that would hop on to play, and that was where the drum beat for Rust in Peace came from. And if you listen to the drum beat, it is quite juvenile. So Dave Mustaine came up with the drum beat for Rust in Peace, I guess. Interesting. I wrote a guitar riff to match the beat, and that was the beginning of my jazz-influenced guitar playing. I had to make it follow that rhythm, and I used special notation. That was my first shot at intricate songwriting. This was written even before Panic. So this song, I guess when he was recorded, it was like 8 years old then, maybe. A number of years later, riding down the freeway, David Ellison, and listening to K-Loss on the radio, I heard the song come back at me through all the years by some band, learned from it all these years before. They even called it their band Child Saint, which was my original title for the song. To their credit, they dropped the song after I complained. So another band stole his music. But the song Rust in Peace actually started with a dream I had of cruising up and down the highway, especially that water reclamation center by Newport Beach. That building served as a central piece in the dream, and there were these giant tanks, traps, huge metal X's like Ball and Jack's children's toys. In the dream, I saw kids climbing over those tank traps in front of the water towers. Also, these were fantastic concrete conduits that kids use for skateboarding. I picture the skaters spiraling down these pipes where people had painted band names or other graffiti. Rust in Peace is a lot about nuclear standoff. The Cold War at the time, we were still in the Cold War. A lot of folks growing up nowadays and digging Megadeth for the first time don't know what that was and don't know how close we were to fucking ending it all. So some urgency of the lyrics may be lost in them. Polaris is dedicated to missile itself, the warhead, and it's a simple piece, almost nothing to it. The lyrics are redundant, kind of a pedantic rhythm to go along with the guitar riff, hypnotic in the way that it's set up. The song is kind of hypnotic. Each time that piece passes through the riff, it picks up another little phrase. Slowly, over the course of the number, it turns into a complex guitar singer exercise. Oh, that's an understatement. These two song combinations become a trademark of Megadeth. At the beginning, we had Killing Is My Business. The business is good. People love that. Next record, there's peace sells, but who's buying? Next record is So Far, So Good, So What? It was working for us. So basically, he just said, like, fuck all about the song there. Thanks, Dave. But yeah, Rust in Peace. In my mind, one of the best metal albums ever made. I would almost probably put it like best metal album ever made. I would probably wager to put it up there. Masterpiece album. Dude, you should check out AFSCI. What's AFSCI, buddy? I did try. It was the gotta be thing. Takes a solo can with a sad look on his. That's okay. Cries quietly. All right, boys. Well, thank you for tuning in. Another classic album reaction. We'll be doing another one next week. I will put up a poll. Yeah, I appreciate all you guys hanging out. Again, Primal, thank you for the super chat, my man. I'll message you in a bit here. And yeah, I just really appreciate all you guys hanging out with me today. And say hi to YouTube for me. By the way, make sure you like, comment, subscribe on the video. Just have to do the outro here, boys. It's up there at Master Puppets. I'd agree with that. I agree with that. But yeah, I'm going to go do some more video editing. I've been Varvis. Thanks for hanging out with me today, boys. Cheers.